Are now
I
recording.
gotta head over to St. Mary's for a choir concert after this.
Okay, well,
I think I got an hour though, so.
you're ready. Well, let's call the meeting to order. If you would call the roll, please.
Dave Waddington. Dan Delahunt.
Here.
John Fike.
I'm here.
Walt Matthews.
Here.
Dr. Siemens.
Here.
Greg Peugeot.
Here.
We have a quorum. Okay, you should have had the meeting minutes for the March 16th meeting. What's your pleasure?
Make a motion to accept. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions on it?
Yeah.
Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, minutes are approved. This is an adjudication hearing, which means that if you are going to give testimony, you need to be sworn in. So if you would raise your right hand, repeat after me. Promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
You are all sworn in. I heard everybody's lips move, so this is good. The first item on the agenda is at 2227 Cleveland Road. It's an area variance to zoning code section 1143.09G1 to allow the construction of a pylon sign and the required 15-foot setback from the public right-of-way. We have staff's comments. Is there anything additional?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. This site is zoned general business. The surrounding zoning to the north is residential multifamily. To the east is both general business and residential multifamily. To the south is general business, and to the west is general business. The surrounding uses of this site are both residential and business. The existing use of this site is a motel, and the proposed use is a motel. The applicant is proposing to replace a pylon sign at 2227 Cleveland Road. The sign will be double-sided and will have internally illuminated lighting. The installation will be the main signage to attract drivers off of Cleveland Road for this site. The sign will be 24 foot tall and roughly 12 foot 11 inches wide. The sign is out of the right-of-way and is being placed in what is currently a grassy area. The public right-of-way on this section of Cleveland Road is 80 foot wide and is considered wide for a public right-of-way. The variance being requested is a 10-foot allowance into the minimum 15-foot setback to allow the sign to be set back 5 feet from the front property line. The original sign of this application was in the public right-of-way and is being proposed to be moved onto private property. Signs are not permitted in the public right-of-way without a permanent encroachment agreement between Public Works and the applicant. Our Public Works Department recommends avoiding this process if possible, and we appreciate the applicant's and owner's response to the Public Works request to move the sign out of the public right-of-way. Planning staff talked with Brady Signs about the possibility of moving the sign further back to eliminate the variance requirement, which would then create inadequate space for a food truck park that is part of phase 2 of this site, so the applicant was not willing to do so. Planning staff noted that the wide public right-of-way in this case creates a very unique situation for the location variance request at this site, and aside from this, all other zoning code requirements are met. So based on these comments, the proposed structure is semi-permanent, sufficiently set back from the roadway for driver safety, and would not bring a negative impact to the surrounding properties at 2227 Cleveland Road, and staff supports granting the variance with the following conditions, and that's that all applicable permits are obtained through the Building Department, Engineering Department, Division of Planning, and any other applicable agency prior to construction, and also that it shall not interfere with the line of sight for any vehicle. Thank you.
One real question before we start. The existing sign you say is, that one says Mecca Motel, is in the right-of-way now?
That is correct, yes.
So the new one will be further back than that?
So the new one will be completely on private property. It's just not meeting the minimum setback standard
Okay.
of the 15 feet.
Is there anyone in the audience that wishes to speak in favor of this request? If so, you'll need to come to the podium, state your name, your address.
Nathan Glass. I live at 701 Buckeye Lane. I'm with Brady Signs. And I'd just like to reiterate, I think that what was written and just read kind of covers the extent of what we're looking to do. We're actually trying to get the sign upgraded, much nicer looking, and out of the public right-of-way, bringing it a little bit further away from the road that it currently is. With that said, any questions?
Doesn't seem to be. Thank you. Is there anyone else who wishes to speak in favor of this request? Is there anyone who wishes to speak against this request? Seeing none, we'll come back to the board with any questions or comments.
For the upgrades of Route 6, is there any plans on moving any of those utility poles along the north side of Cleveland Road?
Through the chair to Dr. Siemens, I spoke with Josh Snyder, the head engineer for the city. He has no concerns with this proposal and the location. All of the future projects along Cleveland Road corridor will not be impacting this location at all, and vice versa.
Thank you.
Any other questions? If not, the motion's in order.
I will make a motion to approve the variance along with the staff's recommendations.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion, a second. Any questions on the motion? Would you please call the roll?
Greg Peugeot,
Yes.
Dan Delahunt,
Yes.
Walt Matthews,
Yes.
Dr. Siemens,
Yes.
John Fike.
Yes, that motion is approved. The next item on the agenda is for 936 West Market Street, an area variance to zoning code section 1145.10 and 1145.17G to allow the construction of a 4-foot-high fence in the required side yard setback. Code only permits a decorative fence in the front and side yards for a corner lot. Decorative fences are to be a maximum of 3 feet in height. We have the staff comments. Is there anything additional?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. This site is zoned RRB residential business. The surrounding zoning to the north is residential business and also limited manufacturing. To the east is residential business, to the south is residential business, and to the west is residential business. The surrounding uses of this site are residential. The existing use of this site is residential, and the proposed use is staying residential. The applicant would like to install a 4-foot aluminum fence in the required side yard setback of a corner lot at 936 West Market Street. The fence is decorative and will be black. The zoning code restricts fences to a height of 3 feet in the required front and side yard setbacks of a corner lot. The fence in the front yard must also be a decorative style fence, which, as proposed, the applicant is meeting. The parcel is unique in shape and does not have much allowable yard to place the proposed fence in the back area. Being on a corner lot further restricts the amount of buildable space for this fence. The applicant has stated the fence is for their dogs, and due to the lack of backyard space, this is the next best option. On your screen there is the proposed fence location, 26 feet to the west by 45 to the south by 26 back to the east to the house. It's going to connect into their porch and to the southwest corner of their house. There was no negative comments or any feedback from other departments, and planning staff fully supports this request. Due to the unique circumstances of this property and the shape and size, and we suggest the following conditions upon approval, and that's that all necessary permits are obtained through the building, engineering, division of planning, and any other applicable agency prior to any construction. The fence is set back a minimum of 1 foot from the side yard property line, and that the fence is decorated with landscaping along the 1 foot setback from the sidewalk. Thank you.
Okay, is there anyone in the audience who wishes to speak in favor of this request? If so, if you please come to the podium, state your name and address.
Good afternoon, Jeff Corso, 936 West Market Street. Just, trying to beautify the city, of course, spot for our dogs. It's a legitimate request. We do this. I would like clarification on 1 foot setback off the property line. As it is now, we're already 27 inches off our sidewalk as our property line. So I'd like to consider maybe a 6-inch setback off the property line. So we're 32 inches off the sidewalk, which I don't think is unreasonable. And clarification of what you guys consider decorative landscaping.
Sure. To the chair, if I may answer those questions. To the first question, it sounds like you're already meeting the requirement. That is just a standard condition we put on all fence applications. So it sounds like you said it was 28?
27 inches.
27 inches
Off
off.
our sidewalk to our property line.
So that's exceeding our expectations, so no need to add any additional setback to that.
Perfect.
To the second question, the decorative style landscaping, there's not a specific requirement. We just ask if at all possible, you put some low landscaping of some kind, some shrubbery, flowers, just well-maintained, mixed in with some grass, essentially, is the common proposal we see.
Perfect.
Okay,
Thank you.
no problem.
Thank you.
And that's the fence you're going to put in?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
And let me go over where you want the fence again. You have a sidewalk, city sidewalk,
Correct.
and so requirements are they're a foot off the sidewalk or a foot off the property line?
So the requirement is a foot off the property line. In this case, the property line is on the sidewalk.
Is it?
Yes.
Most of the time, the sidewalk is, it depends on where it is. But
Yeah.
a lot of times, they are a foot off to start with, so.
It varies. In this case, it is on the sidewalk, and it is safe to measure from that.
Perfect. Okay. Is there anyone else who wishes to speak in favor of the request? You don't have to if he said enough for you. So. Does he speak for you, though?
Not yet, generally.
Just want to check on that. Questions from the board?
I'd just like to make a comment that the home looks beautiful. You guys are doing a great job down there.
Thank you very
for
much.
the city.
We
Yes.
appreciate the
Very
support from the city for the
Really nice.
project. It's coming from the land bank has been fun. You know, it wasn't tear down, it was already empty. We had a vision, and we're hoping to maybe do more with the city on these projects.
Yeah, it's great.
Good.
So, yeah.
Very
Thank
nice.
Yep, thank you.
Sounds
Appreciate
like
it.
a motion is in order.
I'd like to make a motion that we accept as proposed as the city's outline.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Any questions on the motion? None, please call the roll.
Walt Matthews,
Oh, yes.
Dan Delahunt,
Yes.
Greg Peugeot,
Yes.
John Fike,
Yes.
My appointment.
Dr. Siemens.
Yes.
The motion is, or motion, the variance is approved. Motion is two. Variance is approved. Anything additional that come before us tonight? Okay,
We will have a meeting next month. We do have some applications coming in. So May 18th, I believe, is our next meeting, and hopefully we see you all there.
you're going to be back from
I'll be
Florida
back.
again?
Yeah, I'll be back.
Mr. Chairman, I think we were discussing, maybe off the record, but the possibility of allowing our city commission liaison to be an alternate voter if we didn't have a quorum. I don't know if anybody pursued anything about that.
I've asked Dick, but he didn't think that it would get approval for this. So,
Can you check with the law director to see what the procedure is?
Yeah.
Five is the maximum, we have no alternates. It won't happen too often, it's just this was kind of an unusual, we did know that Dan was going to be gone.
Yep.
And Greg was gone one of them also, so we were down to three, and then
Right.
I had a conflict with the one, so we
Yep.
had three people, but only two could vote. So
Yep, I think it's a great case of why it's a good argument, and I will touch base with our law director on that.
Great.
I do know from past conversations that it would require city commission review and approval. So having their perspective and involved with the conversation is important, but it sounds like we're doing that already.
Okay,
I even brought up having an alternate, appointed. We could call them, hey, it looks like, come down, it's once a month. I think we can find somebody to do that, but I don't know where that even went.
okay.
Kind of vague,
I can touch on that point too.
I wouldn't mind making a motion that we pursue that, or make a motion that this commission feels it would be appropriate to have an alternate.
Well,
So I would move-
If he checks with the law director to
Okay.
see if it's allowed to start with.
Right.
And then if it's not allowed, how do we make it happen?
Exactly. Okay.
I think they already know.
I'll withdraw that
Yeah.
motion.
Our commission liaison knows that we want one, so.
Right.
So through the chair, I think what the next best step here is to have me talk with law department, see what avenue would work best, if at all, and then touch base with you all next meeting and have a conversation before we're on the record. And if you want to make a motion from that point forward, that would work.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
So motion to adjourn.
So move.
Second?
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned.
Yeah.